The First Amendment is the cornerstone of American liberty, ensuring freedom of thought, expression, religion, and the right to challenge the government. The First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. From the very birth of our nation, freedom of speech has been the heartbeat of democracy. Our earliest presidents, the men who laid the foundation of America, understood that without the right to speak, write, and question power, liberty cannot survive. Today, we'll journey through the words of our first 20 presidents, as they remind us why freedom of speech is not just a right, but our greatest safeguard against tyranny. George Washington, first president. If men are to be precluded from offering their sentiments on a matter, reason is of no use to us. Without free expression, rational debate and democracy collapse. For freedom of speech may be taken away, and dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep, to the slaughter. Censoring voices paves the way for tyranny. John Adams, second president. Liberty, once lost, is lost forever. Suppressing speech rights risks permanent loss of liberty. The liberty of the press is essential to the security of freedom. A free press keeps government accountable and protects rights. Thomas Jefferson, third president. Our liberty depends on the freedom of the press, and that cannot be limited without being lost. Press freedom is inseparable from political liberty. Error of opinion may be tolerated where reason is left free to combat it. Even false ideas should be allowed, so truth can prevail in open debate. Were it left to me to decide whether we should have a government without newspapers or newspapers without a government, I should not hesitate a moment to prefer the latter. A free press is more essential to liberty than even government itself. James Madison, fourth president. The advancement and diffusion of knowledge is the only guardian of true liberty. Free expression and education safeguard democracy. The freedom of the press is one of the great bulwarks of liberty and can never be restrained but by despotic governments. Only tyranny fears open speech. James Monroe, fifth president. The liberty, prosperity, and happiness of our country will always be the object of my most fervent prayers. National well-being depends on preserving liberty, including expression. The freedom of the press ought to be inviolate. Speech and press should remain untouched by government control. John Quincy Adams, sixth president. The freedom of the press should be inviolate. Reaffirms that no law should limit free expression. Posterity. You will never know how much it cost my generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make good use of it. Freedom of expression is hard-won, and future generations must uphold it. Andrew Jackson, seventh president. The great can protect themselves, but the poor and humble require the arm and shield of the law. Speech protections must defend ordinary citizens most of all. The freedom of the press is essential to the preservation of a free government. Press independence is a safeguard against corruption and abuse. Martin Van Buren, eighth president. The freedom of the press and of opinion is justly deemed the firmest bulwark of civil liberty. Open speech and opinion are the strongest defenses of democracy. William Henry Harrison, ninth president. The freedom of the press is the palladium of all the civil, political, and religious rights of man. Protecting the press protects all other freedoms. John Tyler, 10th president. The press, free and independent, is the best corrective of abuses of power. A free press exposes corruption and ensures accountability. James K. Polk, 11th president. Public opinion, when enlightened, is the most certain means of governing. Free debate allows the people to guide government wisely. Zachary Taylor, 12th president. The power given by the people is not to be abused to their oppression. Leaders must not silence free expression to maintain control. Millard Fillmore, 13th President. Liberty unregulated by law degenerates into anarchy, and law divested of liberty becomes tyranny. Speech freedom must balance with law, but neither should destroy the other. Franklin Pierce, 14th President. The storm of passion may for a time suspend the operations of reason, but it never can permanently control the free discussions of a people. Free debate will always overcome momentary chaos. James Buchanan, 15th President. The ballot box, the jury box, and the press box are the guarantors of our liberty. Elections, courts, and press freedoms keep freedom alive. Abraham Lincoln, 16th President. The people are the rightful masters of both Congresses and courts. Citizens must use speech and action to resist corruption. Let the people know the facts, and the country will be safe. Truth and open discussion protect democracy more than censorship. If the press were not free, and every man did not speak, write, and print freely, then liberty could not be maintained. Liberty depends on open communication. Andrew Johnson, 17th President. Honest conviction is my courage. The Constitution is my guide. A leader must allow open disagreement and protect rights. Ulysses S. Grant, 18th President. Let us labor for the security of free thought, free speech, free press, pure morals, unfettered religious sentiment, and equal rights. Speech, press, and conscience are inseparable pillars of democracy. Rutherford B. Hayes, 19th President. Free government cannot long endure if property is largely in a few hands, and the great mass of people are deprived of the means of independence. Speech freedom requires economic fairness, so all voices can be heard. James A. Garfield, 20th President. The free expression of opinion is the indispensable means of enlightening the judgment of the people. A nation cannot govern itself wisely without open speech. Through every era, our presidents warned us. Silence invites oppression, but free voices build freedom. Their words still echo across history, reminding us why freedom of speech is not just a right, but our greatest safeguard against tyranny, and why we must fight every single day to defend it against censorship, oppression, and those who would silence us. If you believe in the power of free speech, stand with us. Like, share, and subscribe, and join the fight for liberty. Protecting your freedom of speech begins with knowing its value. It is the shield that guards your voice and the weapon that empowers your truth. Never take it for granted, because every time you stay silent out of fear, you give power to those who would silence you. Stand up, speak out, and challenge censorship wherever you see it, whether in conversations, online, or in public life. Protecting free speech isn't just about defending your own words. It's about defending the right of every person to be heard. When we raise our voices together, we protect not only our freedom, but the very foundation of democracy itself.